Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker. Today's topic, we're doing another interview, and this is a favorite topic of mine as somebody who identifies with this concept. So, for those of you out there that are struggling to figure out how to put yourself out there could be a reason behind that. You may be an introvert. I know I am. And so today I have Stacey Chazen on. We're going to talk all about being an introvert in an extroverted world. Stacey, introduce yourself to the audience, who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Hi, Jennifer. It's so great to be here. Thank you. So, my name is Stacey Chazen, and I'm the founder of I Factor Leadership, which is a program, an organization that supports introverted professionals to embrace their innate gifts so that they can be recognized for their contributions at work and move into positions of leadership and get the recognition and rewards that they deserve.
Thank- I, so
And I support them with coaching, with online learning, a whole gamut of things that are all introvert friendly.
I love that. But I want to start with a question of what's an introvert? Like what traits do they have? How can someone tell if they're an introvert? Because I'm very well aware that I'm an introvert, but some people might not be.
Yeah, that's such a great question. And in part because there are so many myths about what an introvert is, both among introverts themselves and among our polar opposites, the extroverts. So let me start off with what they're not, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Because there are myths and stereotypes out there that if you're introverted, it means you're shy, or vice versa. If you're shy, it means you're an introvert. That introverts don't really like to be with people. They don't like people. They're aloof. They don't like to work with others. And all they ever want to do is stay home and be alone. So while some of these preferences are occasionally true, what I'll share with you what an introvert is. When we say that someone is an introvert, or technically we say they have a preference for introversion, that refers to how they give and receive energy from the world. So
Yeah.
someone who's introverted is energized, is fueled by time spent by themselves, when they have opportunities to go deep in their thoughts, to think through questions and problems and challenges, when they have opportunities to engage maybe with one other person at a time, and when they have opportunities to recharge in between their engagements with other people. And in contrast, someone who's extroverted is fueled by other people. They get their energy by engaging with lots of people frequently. They don't need the breaks. They do their best thinking. We say they think out loud, very different than introverts do. So that's how they get their energy. And those types of things, they drain introverts. So the distinction is from what I said earlier with the myths. It's not that we don't like to be with other people, or that we don't like people, but we need to be with people either in situations or for durations of time or intervals of time that are different, that are more aligned with how we're energized and how we're drained.
Yeah, and that's so true. I can't tell you how many people have in my lifetime have said, Jennifer's just shy. And I'm like, I am not shy. I simply have no desire to be in a room of a crowd of people. Like, that's just not,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't fuel me. It actually drains me. Short story for all of you, I network. And there was a point that I networked for like an entire week. Every day, Monday through Thursday, I had a different networking event. And these weren't small, like one-on-one coffees. These were like events.
Yeah,
By Friday, I climbed in my bed and pulled the covers over my head and just stayed there. And my husband, came in and he's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Don't talk to me. Nobody talk to me. No children. I just need here by myself with no
uh-huh.
interactions with other humans for a little
I
while."
bet.
Because it can be an exhausting. So for a lot of my audience are entrepreneurs, they're business owners. And so
Yep.
part of that is getting out there. Like they have to put themselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
What are some suggestions that you have for to help them do that as an introvert?
That's a terrific question because I'm going to guess, and I'm horrified on your behalf by that experience you just shared. I've been there, I've crawled under the covers, I've hidden out in the ladies' room, all those things, right? And the reason that happens, I'm guessing that the way you networked that for that 5 days or full week was you tried to network like an extrovert,
Oh,
right? We think there's
absolutely.
just one way to network, that you want to be in this ballroom, this conference room, this reception, and collect as many business cards as possible. Let as many people as possible know what you do, who you work for, whatever your elevator pitch is, right?
Right.
And that is a recipe for disaster for introverts. So I love to talk about this because what I've discovered and what I've seen my clients try on and be really successful with are a number of strategies that all tap into your introverted strengths. So that's the key to everything I talk about. It's not
Mhm.
trying to do things like an extrovert, but recognizing what your strengths are as an introvert and using those to do X, to network, to market, to whatever it is.
Yeah.
So when it comes to networking, here are some ways to do that. One, introverts are very good. We tend to be very good at preparing. So ahead of time, if you're going to a big event, let's say you're going to a 3-day conference, try ahead of time to get your hands on the list of people who'll be there. So nowadays, most conferences they'll be on an app where you can see the agenda, you can see who's going to
Yeah.
be there, identify who's going to be there ahead of time, take a look, and for each day that you're at the conference, identify 3 people who you wanna meet that day. So if it's a 3-day conference, we're gonna say 9 people that you're looking to have a connection with. Then you wanna do your research. We're really good at researching. See what you can learn about them. Go to their LinkedIn profile, go to their company website, see so you to try to get a sense of what are their priorities, what are their needs, what are their interests, what's some area of expertise that you might wanna benefit from. And then keep this list in your pocket or on your phone in your notes and check off 3 people each day. And when you've gotten through that, you're done. You've done your due diligence. If you happen to meet some other people, wonderful. But the idea is put really manageable goals when it comes to quantity.
I love that. I love that. One tip that I have that has worked for me is find that extroverted friend because
Uh-huh.
they
That's a great one.
they will talk to everybody and connect you with only the people that you need to talk to.
That's amazing, right? And then they can take the lead on small talk. And then that's another thing to do. You want to prepare small talk prompts, right? Because for introverts, like trying to come up with small talk on the fly, it's uncomfortable. It could give you more anxiety. So come up with some topics, and it could be about the conference. It could be probably don't want it to be about the weather, but it could be about who do you think is going to go all the way in the Super Bowl this year, or if you're in a health policy space, I often work with people in that world, um, to have some prompt about some pertinent policy issue that you're working on, or that's a hot topic of the day. So that's one
Yeah.
piece.
And if you're at a 3-day conference, it could be a topic about what it is the conference is about, whatever. Like
Exactly.
they have tons of presenters. Ask, did you see XYZ presenter and talking about that? There are ways to get around it that I think people often, as introverts, we often try to assimilate into the extroverted world.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so you want to look for what are some tools you can use, right? Use digital tools. So after the conference, follow up with the people you met on LinkedIn, or via email. If there are people you didn't get a chance to meet, either because you kind of reached your socializing, your networking limit energy wise, make notes of those and go back to the people afterwards. Either if the conference app is still active, or via email, via social media, and do that outreach. And that's also very introvert aligned because it lets you think through what you're going to say. You're not just offering up conversation on the fly.
Yeah.
And you're showing that you can be a lot more thoughtful in what you're including in your outreach.
Yeah.
And maybe it's I saw you present and I'd love to learn more about what you do. And this is what resonated with me, things like that.
That's fantastic advice. So, because networking is part of marketing, it is part of, especially for entrepreneurs growing a business, but it's not the only part, right? A lot of business owners are or should be, if they are not, at least online, which means developing content that's going to resonate with their audience. So, how do introverts do that? Because this was a learning process for me, like developing content. Um, you
Yeah.
see people out there all the time, those influencers or whatever, and they're developing content all day long, and it's exhausting. So, what are your suggestions for those entrepreneurs who are introverted, who need to develop
Mhm.
content to do it without exhausting themselves?
Yeah, and I will say I've been learning that myself as an entrepreneur. And I see these people and I have the same impression you do. Like, how do they do this all day long? But here's the thing, they don't do it all day long. And what I recommend and what I've tried that really works for me is something called task batching. So that's when you block your day and try to tackle particular types of tasks all in a row all at once. So if you're doing administrative work as a type of task, so responding to emails or working on invoices or anything in that realm, if there's something that's strategic, if you're developing a proposal or a plan, maybe it's something creative. So the reason that's especially important for introverts to task batch is because we're more susceptible to being drained by the task switching. So if you're going back and forth between administrative, creative, strategic, content development, we're more likely to burn out from that. So what I do is I pick one day of the week that and it's not even a full day. I generally do it for about 4 to 5 hours because that's all I can take. And I do my content development then.
Perfect. Yeah.
Whether it's recording videos or um, writing social media posts. The other part of that is I do a lot of blog writing, which I think is a different type of energy
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah.
And for me, it drains me way less, like most introverts, because we tend to be really, really good writers. So that I can actually sprinkle throughout my week. That's maybe my exception. But task batching, don't have it on your plate every day that you're waking up in the morning and saying, oh, I have to do more content development today. I have to be on camera again today. Once a week, maybe twice a week. That's when you get it done. And then the other days you don't have to worry about it or
Yeah.
be stressed by it.
This is something that I go through with my clients a lot is the content development batching. And honestly, you can do it one day a month. Like it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a weekly thing, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. I will tell you the secret of all of those influencers is that they're not doing it all every day, right? They're doing it, they may spend
Right.
a week doing all of their content and then it's split up through the rest of the month, depending on the amount of content they need to create. But I agree wholeheartedly, especially if it's video. Um, the other thing is make sure that I get it. Nobody wants to be on video, whether you're introverted or extroverted. I mean, people just
Yeah.
dislike the idea of it. And yet, if you really want to grow your business, you kind of have to suck it up. And the more you do it, the easier it is.
Yeah, I've learned that. Yes. I think the first time I went on video, I re-recorded 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's maybe twice, sometimes just once.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm too, I'll confess, sometimes I'm so busy and overwhelmed that I don't even watch it. I'm like, I'm sure that was fine. And I'll put it out and it's growing more comfortable with yourself. And
exactly.
and I think that's harder for introverts too. But yeah, I think. And then the other thing I'd advise is once you have the resources to to have someone, contract with someone to help you with that. So
Yeah,
you're not holding the full load of it, which even be for me, even beyond just the recording of it, all the adding the captions and any other graphics, that still takes a certain kind of energy that
it
depletes
does.
me. And
Yeah,
I'm not good at that part.
yeah.
So
And that is something that I think every business owner gets to learn is when it's time that, like, I could do all of the video editing of my podcast and everything else myself. And it would take me hours where I can send it to my video editor and it takes him 15 minutes.
yeah, yeah,
So, really focusing in on what you do well, whether you're introverted or extroverted when it comes to your marketing, is really what's going to make your life easier.
absolutely.
So, as we're wrapping up, are there any tips, anything that introverts need to know as they're trying to grow a business or work in corporate or anything like that? What is
Mhm.
that thing that we may not have covered today?
Well, we covered it a little bit, but I want to expand on it and reinforce it,
Yeah.
is the key to your success, no matter what you're doing really, but especially I think in entrepreneurism, is using the best of who you are. What's called your positive core is a notion in the field of appreciative coaching, which is a framework I use in my business. And the idea is your positive core is really the best of who you are, right? The expertise you have, the empathy you bring, the skills that you really shine with. Know what those are. And once you know that what they are, embrace them and figure out ways to use them. I use the phrase, I say you want to look for introvert powered leadership opportunities or introvert powered opportunities. And it's ways that you can apply the best of who you are, your positive core, to whatever it is you're doing. Because when you can lean into those strengths, rather than trying to pretend to be something you're not, you're going to be more successful. You're going to have an opportunity to shine. You're going to have an opportunity to put those gifts to work in ways that are really going to showcase your business and who you are as an entrepreneur and what you offer to your clients or customers.
I love that so much. So, if someone is an introvert and they need some help figuring out what that core is or learning how to navigate an extroverted world, how do they connect with you? What's the best way for them to contact you?
They can find me at ifactorleadership.com. It's my website. And they can learn there. I have a digital program called the Introverts Leadership Formula, which includes it's a self-paced course with some coaching that'll guide them on becoming a more powerful communicator, preventing burnout, and then literally how do you ask for a raise or a promotion or trying to close a sale. So real specific
Love that.
strategies. And I also offer coaching that's rooted in Myers-Briggs, the MBTI assessment. So that really helps people to identify what are your core gifts as an introvert that you can bring
Perfect.
to the table.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Stacey. And for those of you out there, maybe you're an introvert, maybe you're an extrovert, but you know you need marketing in your business and you're struggling to understand what to do first or next. Head over to yourmarketingmatchmaker.com and schedule a free 30-minute strategy session where I promise you will walk away with at least one actionable item to help you grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. Till next time, whether you're extroverted or introverted, put yourself out there because when you do hard things, good things come to you. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple, iTunes, and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.